Paul Hamilton joining us. His appearance brought to you by Raylax Honda. Raylax, we got this. Sabres get a win over the Philadelphia Flyers. They're back to it tonight for Montreal at KeyBank Center for 0506 reunion night. And programming note, it's a Thursday, but Sean McDermott joins Sal for the Extra Point Show at 10 o'clock this morning. We'll get some players ruled out. I feel like Ty Johnson's the one to watch. He's missed 2 practices.
Yeah.
And that could be bad news for him. Jordan Poyer, week to week, I think we'll watch him miss as well. Anyway, Paul, another win for the Sabres, just like they drew it up. 14 shots, 5 goals.
They had 8 shots at 5-on-5.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different kind of win. They don't often, not a lot of teams at all win like that. But how would you review their performance, given that if I just looked at a stat sheet and hadn't watched the game and see 14 shots, I wonder what happened?
But then your eyes have to go over to the other side. They only gave up 22.
Right.
Which really isn't that many to give up either. So it really wasn't a high-chance game when it came to shots. Type of thing. I don't think they played poorly or anything like that. I didn't leave thinking, boy, they got run over. They were lucky to win. They were opportunistic. They did get 5 goals on the 14 shots. So they were opportunistic in their offense that way. But it just wasn't a high-chance game for either team. Once Lukin had made that phenomenal save after the giveaway by Zucker early in the first period, at that point, I thought Buffalo didn't look all that good. But that save just seemed to kind of perk them up a little bit and get them going. And then they started to play a little bit more in the offensive end and got a couple of opportunities and capitalized on them.
They could have had more, Paul, right? Even end of the first period, I don't know how Bo Byram doesn't score from where he was on the backhand. And then Tage hits the post. I think they hit the post 3 times in this game.
Yeah, Byram it was on the backhand where he deflected that shot, and it's just, he had his stick just, you know how your stick has to be one way or the other, and it
was crossbody kind of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately for him, it was a wide open net to deflect the puck into, but it was on the backhand, and it backhanded it off the post and out the other side. And, same thing with Thompson. At first, I thought it might hit the side of the net, post, whatever, but it was a good opportunity, whichever it was. And that one went by the boards too. They had a couple that went wide. So it wasn't a typical, they were awful. They only got 14 shots. They got run over type of a game. It just was a low-chance game, I thought, for both teams.
Well, Paul, in the story, this game might be the power play, right? Because they were 1 for 21 in their previous, I think it was 10 games going into last night, which was, I think, easily last in the league in that stretch. And they had only generated 26 shots on the 21 power plays. And last night, did you notice a difference? It felt like directly at the beginning of that first power play, it's, okay, we're putting pucks on the net immediately.
Well, Darlene was talking about a shooting mentality to have, and he does. I agree. He's got to shoot more. He's got to make the other team respect the fact that Rasmus Dahlin is back there, and we have to, make sure he's not, finding the lanes and getting shots and that type of thing, because he wasn't shooting all that often. So they could shade over to the 2 circles and try to take away Thompson and Norris, because Dahlin really wasn't making them respect the shot all that much. So the first power play, there was a lot to like. I thought they moved the puck quick. They got good movement. They, of course, had Zucker at the net where he always is, and he took the goaltender's eyes away from him. And then Dahlin was willing to, wait a minute, okay, they're kind of giving me this opportunity to come down the slot. Do it. Take advantage of that opportunity. And I just think the more that he finds opportunities to shoot the puck on the power play, I think it's going to be better, because now it gives the other team something to think about. So, I just think the movement we saw was good. It was crisp. And, of course, you got Zucker at the net, which also helps, too. Now, the other one that Dahlin scored, my first thought watching it before I got to see the replay is, Zucker ran over the goaltender. But then you get to see Zucker got thrown into the goaltender. And but you
And it
never
might have
know.
even been after the puck went in, too.
And you never know.
Right.
You know, you sit there and say to yourself, oh, yeah, "This is the NHL," and sometimes, all of a sudden you're going, like Benson a couple of times this year. It's like, what are they calling here? Are you kidding me? Even after the replay shows. So, and then the fans were upset later, and I just wanted to bring it up. You can't challenge. That has to be the call, the kicking motion type of thing. Lenny says it's not something you can challenge, and we talked about even if he could challenge it, would it be wise? Because that makes it 4-2, and if you challenge it, and with this goofy league, you don't know. Even if you think you're sure, you don't know which way it's going to go, and your challenge doesn't go your way, and then it's a power play for the Flyers, and if they score on that, next thing you know, it's 4-3. That's the goofy thing that happened to them in Philadelphia, if you remember, when they lost the game. They challenged. It was the goal. They challenged. They lost the challenge, power play, goal, and next thing you know, the Flyers are away and going. So he goes, we talk about that all the time. Sometimes you've got to just weigh, is it worth it? Even if it is something you can challenge, you just got to say to you, is it this time of the game, is it worth taking a chance when you just don't know where these challenges are going to go?
Paul Hamilton joining us, chatting about last night's game. Paul, you talk a lot about the timely save. Would you give a few of those to Luukkonen last night?
Yeah. On that giveaway where the Flyers wound up with a 2-on-1 in front of the net, and good anticipation, and he got over and made that save. That was one of the best saves I've seen of the year from him, and it just got the Sabres going. I mean, they weren't getting run over, but I thought Philadelphia up to that point had the better of the play, and he had made a couple of saves before that, but not like that one. But you know what? It got the fans up, it got them up off the bench. It just changed everything into the game, and it just got everybody into the game. Because the Sabres to that point hadn't had a shot on goal. It actually took them 9 minutes to get their first shot. Dahlin had their first two shots. One of them went in the net. But it just seemed like it just got everybody up, got everybody going, and I thought the Sabres played much better after that save. It really injected some life into them.
What about the Norris injury, Paul, from last night? I don't know how you see it. Lindy said they're hoping it's not long-term, right? But what do you think? Is that maybe something you think he knows, or is that just like everybody, you would hope it's not long-term?
I wish you would have seen it. When that whole scrum got going, I was watching Zucker, because Zucker made contact with the goaltender if he got pushed, and then that kind of went to the corner, and that's where I thought the scrum was going to wind up, was with those two, because they were going at it a little bit. And then, once my eyes kind of moved a little bit, I saw people like chasing Norris around. And that's all I saw of what happened with him. Looking back at the replay of the goal, he was over in the circle where he normally is, in the right circle. He actually wasn't even covered, and you could see he had his stick cocked, ready for a one-timer if it came his way. So I never saw why were they chasing him around the ice. It's something you see, I wouldn't say quite often, but he does tend to get under the other team's skin every now and then, and I have seen teams chase him around the ice before. So whatever had happened, and as Lindy said, it was a cross-check, it had already happened by the time my eyes kind of shifted over to where Norris was and to see the other team trying to get at him. So I don't know if it happened after the goal or if it happened like before the goal, like 10 seconds before or anything like that. I just never saw anything happen to him because my eyes were over at Zucker.
Yeah, I can help with what started. I don't know where he would have got injured, Paul, but like 20 seconds before the Dahlin goal, so this would have been actually, like, the puck came out and then they brought it back in. So before that had happened, him and Sealer were like trading slashes back and forth. I don't know why, but they were going at it a little bit. And then
it could have happened right there. He might have got cross-checked there.
Maybe.
You know,
when the
and
camera went away.
That's when, you know, they might have started, you know, jostling there after the cross check. So we'll just have to see how that breaks down, and you know, in a back-to-back situation, that may not be a good thing or a good sign for him.
Paul, we'll talk tomorrow because there's a game tonight too. Quick turnaround, Montreal in town tonight for 05-06 reunion night. How about you? Nostalgia, feels? What do you got for this one?
I'm looking forward to like Max Finneganoff. I haven't seen Max Finneganoff since he was a Sabre. You know, and he was on with Marty, and he was on our air yesterday with Marty and Duffer, and I'd forgotten, or I don't even know if I knew he married a fairly good tennis player from Russia. I think when I looked it up, she was ranked like 3rd overall, and because he was talking about his kids. Like, yeah, my wife gets our daughter into tennis, and they ask if he ever beats his wife in tennis. He goes, nope, never. That's when I
Right.
looked it up to see who it was, and then his son just started playing hockey. So he's 46 and he's been playing over there.
I told Joe.
Until he was 42, I think.
I
or
feel
40.
like if the Sabres don't put some skates on him and just have him take a lap.
Paul, he could still
Just take a lap.
Maybe McLeod or Tuck could get him. I feel like there's some guys on the team he might still be able to take.
So yeah, he said that's why he gave up hockey, because he wanted to be there for his son, and he goes, now my hockey is with my son. So it was fun to hear him, and but as I said, him and Kodalik and a couple of guys, Jochen Hecht, I don't think I've seen since he left the Sabres.
Yeah.
So
Paul, I said this earlier. I'm really glad that they had this night. I don't know that they had to, because it's not a cup-winning team. It's not even a team with a banner up. Like, I don't know that you had to have this night, but I'm glad they are, because people love that team, and tonight's going to be awesome, I think.
it wasn't a cup-winning team, but it was.
They should have.
And
They
Lindy
should've.
said, he goes, you always say there are what ifs. He goes, you're human. Of course, there's what ifs. What if he goes, you can go back to '99. What if in overtime James Patrick doesn't hit the crossbar and that puck hits the bottom of the crossbar and goes in? Now he goes, who knows how has history changed? Because now you're on to Game 7 against the Stars. So he goes, sure there are. He goes, you always think of the what ifs. What if the injuries don't happen? You know, and you're able to get past Carolina, who winds up beating Edmonton. So
8 seed Edmonton, yeah.
Yeah,
on their third goalie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some of us have forgotten some of the details. It's fine.
I don't think you have. You don't sound like you've forgotten
it's
them.
a little fuzzy. Some details in there. All right, Paul. Well, we're looking forward to it tonight. We'll have a great time at the arena, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take care.
Paul Hamilton. Will we see an Affinaganoff Thrashers jersey tonight?
You know, I've looked for those. They're not out there in the wild very much.
You want one, don't you?
Oh, yeah. The blue one with the Thrashers
sleeve?
going down the arm sleeve. I mean, I would probably take any of them, but yeah, they're not out there.
The Thrashers sleeve.
If someone's got one, they're holding on to it for life.
That was a look, the Thrashers.